And welcome everybody to, wow, it's the last Thursday in July, July 29th, 2021. Can you believe that? I don't know where
I cannot believe it's the end of July already.
I don't know where this month has gone. I really don't. But today is my 35th anniversary with Michigan State University.
Wow.
Oh,
Can you believe 35 years?
That's telling you're old, girl.
Down how old I am, right?
I know.
It's all right. It's okay.
You started when you were 10, right?
That's right. Exactly. And today I felt like I was 35 years plus 10. No.
That's a long time to be a student, Sue.
I will tell you that my mom, for the longest time, she'd tell, well, my daughter is up at Michigan State going to school. And I'm like, Mom, I've been working for 20 years. I'm like, I've been working for 20 years. But so I'm excited to have everybody here. This is, I think people are still coming. Look at Amy Zimmerman's coming in tonight. Wow. So we have people from all over California, Michigan. I don't even know. I can't even see some of the names. My minds are going. Kansas, Indianapolis. Who am I missing?
Amy's Ohio, right?
Ohio.
Yep.
Yeah, we got people from all over. That's great.
Hi, Amy. Hello.
So tonight I will happily give you advance notice of where we're heading next. So after tonight's program about the Kiwanis warehouse and Dollar Days, next week, Stephen McCarty is going to be with us from the Washington, D.C. Kiwanis Club, who will talk about how they transitioned during a pandemic time to still continue to give their student leader awards out, $55,000 the day that we were with them. August 12th, we have a lieutenant governor panel to talk about lieutenant governors. August 19th is a presentation on Zambia with the Kiwanis Children's Fund and our friend Elizabeth Teza. The 26th is a Zobra, which is the big event that they do in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is a huge fundraiser for them. We've got Brian Tenslinger coming up. We've got some of the new officers coming up. We got Kiwanis Youth Protection. So we go until, the Thursday before Thanksgiving. We're also working on a special Veterans Day program for November 11th. So I'm excited about that. But I do want to introduce, I will introduce a couple of people on our call tonight because we have them here. Amy Zimmerman. She's in the middle of my screen, but Amy is a trustee on the Kiwanis Children's Fund, Kiwanis Children's Fund, is a current trustee and will be, and is the treasurer designate, I should say. So she will become treasurer of the Kiwanis Children's Fund in a couple of months. Linda Lothar, who's with us, is one of our new Kiwanis International trustees, who's already working, I know that, officially taking over October 1. And then, of course, Brad Boyd is with us from the Kiwanis International staff out of Indianapolis. So lots of folks with us today, and we will go ahead and get started. So with us tonight is Kate Mayeski, the Kiwanis National Account Advisor at Dollar Days, which is the Kiwanis warehouse, the chosen warehouse for us. She's a background in nonprofit and customer service management and is passionate about serving and supporting vulnerable populations around the country. By working with Kate and her team at Dollar Days, Kiwanis clubs can stretch every donation dollar to increase the impact in their community. So for those of you that are not aware, this partnership has been going on for a couple of years maybe now, Kate?
Yeah, over 5.
There you go, over 5. So, and one of the things that we have done throughout this program is introduce our Kiwanis members that are here in our Kiwanis clubs to some of the partners that we have, because there's so much out there. A lot of times we just don't, remember or know where everything is. So we will ask everyone to mute themselves. And Kate, I will turn it over to you. So welcome, Kate.
Thank you so much, Sue. And it's so nice to meet everyone. I know some of the names of individuals on this call that we've chatted on the phone. It's so lovely to put some faces to names. And I am just thrilled at the opportunity to speak on behalf of Dollar Days, the Kiwanis Warehouse, and our partnership. Sue, thank you for that lovely introduction. I think it's important to share a few other things about myself, just so you know, for me personally, why I'm so thrilled to be able to work with Kiwanis. I'm an extremely mission-minded individual. So Sue shared with you that I have a background in nonprofit management. I actually used to work here locally for the Arizona Humane Society, which was such a thrill. And I was a part of that organization. I was able to help create some programs to support some of the vulnerable community members, individuals that were living on the streets and had pets and needed a little help. And so the reason I like to share that is because I think it really speaks to my passion for supporting our community and why I'm a really great fit to work with Kiwanis. So very excited to be working with everyone. Over the past few months, it's been such a thrill to get to know Kiwanis more. For context, I used to work for Dollar Days years ago, about 7. Some of you guys might remember Frank Alvarez, who has since retired, but I used to work with Frank years ago as a customer service manager. So having found out he had retired, I had to hop on the opportunity to come back and work with Kiwanis. So I'd like to keep this pretty informal. I do have a PowerPoint I'd like to share with everyone, but as always, I'm here to serve Kiwanis. I'm here to serve you individuals. I'm here to serve your club. So please feel free to interject with any questions or comments that you have. Those are more than welcome. So I'd like to share just a little bit about Dollar Days, because what I have found over the past few months is that there are some Kiwanis members that have never heard of us, and that's absolutely okay. I think that the past year especially has highlighted an opportunity for us virtually to expand our reach and get to know one another. And again, for me to connect with each of you and your clubs and be able to really customize our support to you. So I'm excited to share a little bit about who we are and what we do. Some of you may know us. Some of you may have no idea who Dollar Days is. And again, that's okay. So I'm going to dig into this information here. Let me just share my screen and we'll see how we do. I don't know about you guys, but I have been living on Zoom. Sue and I were just laughing about that for about 1.5 years now. All right, so you should be seeing my PowerPoint. Sue, I'll lean on you because I can't see anyone if at any point you can't see.
We are, yes.
Awesome. Okay, so today's topic, strategic spending with Dollar Days. For those who don't know, Dollar Days is a trusted supplier of wholesale goods. We're an online wholesaler. So we provide over 30,000 different items at wholesale pricing to nonprofits across the country, including Kiwanis, who we have a national partnership with. And more important than that, it's my job as your Kiwanis account advisor and your chosen Kiwanis warehouse to be able to stretch your budget and collaborate with you and your club to support your local service projects. And a little history about Dollar Days. I already mentioned that we've had a national partnership with Kiwanis for over 5 years now, but Dollar Days has been around for a long time. We've actually been around for over 20 years now. And the reason that Dollar Days came to be is because we recognized a need in these communities for both nonprofits and businesses to really leverage their buying power to be able to purchase in bulk. So I'm sure those of you who have ordered with us know it is so much more convenient to come to us to place an order for your back to school supplies, your hygiene kits, etc., rather than running all over town to your local Walmarts to try to find those items at a wholesale pricing. And we actually really transformed our business model after Hurricane Katrina due to the need for immediate access to goods and really value-driven goods to support those individuals that were affected. And as you can imagine, even after Hurricane Katrina, there's been no shortage of natural disasters and other events, most recently the COVID-19 pandemic, that have really driven our business model to be able to support nonprofits locally. So if you're looking fast track to 2021, we've served over 4.3 million registered customers, many of those Kiwanis members, shipped over 1.5 million orders for personal protection equipment. And our leadership team actually has over 90 years of combined experience across private equity and Fortune 500 companies. So we've got a really incredible, passionate group of individuals that we work with, but we're a small company. There's only 40 individuals with Dollar Days, and that's our service team, our sales team, our marketing team, our operations team. So we're not like the big name guys. When you call into Dollar Days, you're working directly with Kate, as well as all of my colleagues that are here to support you. So just to give you a little bit more in terms of the type of items that we've provided over the years, blankets, clothing, backpacks. I know a lot of Kiwanis members right now are, of course, purchasing school supplies, because we are in the thick of summer. We're in the thick of our back to school season. So certainly one of our top items that we're able to provide to all of the clubs for all of the service projects that you're doing locally. But in addition to school supplies, I'm seeing a lot of requests for toys, hygiene, dental kits, and of course, the personal protection equipment. If you're like me and you've been reading the news and everything that's going on, we're starting to see an uptick again as well in requests for the gloves, the masks, of course, and the hand sanitizer. So we do a lot in terms of service projects, but a lot as well with disaster relief efforts. So why Dollar Days, aside from the fact that we have a national partnership, right? For those of you who have never heard of us maybe, or new to the partnership, or even new to Kiwanis, as I've mentioned, we have over 20 years of serving our customers, when we are very mission minded, and we're really here to help you and your clubs achieve your goals. We have over 30,000 different products on our website ready to ship out at wholesale pricing. We have a rebate program with Kiwanis that I'll get into in a little bit here. We have a dedicated solutions team. And I really like to stress on this point because, again, we're not like the big companies where you just send an email or try to get someone live on the line and you have to wait on hold for 20 minutes. For those of you who have perhaps worked with me or Frank or the team in the past, you know, you call into Dollar Days, you're going to get an answer right away. And it's a point of pride for us because we're here to serve our clients. We're here to help stretch your dollar. We're not here to take your credit card. So we're very, very passionate about that point. And for Kiwanis, we offer free shipping on orders over $199. So just another point to be able to help stretch your budget just that further. So here's a nice visual I really wanted to include because I think that even for the Kiwanis Club members that have been purchasing with us for a number of years, sometimes we forget that we have a variety of other options available for you in addition to back to school supply season. It's a season that we do really well with, but what I'm hoping to expand on and let all the clubs know is we can help with so much more. There's other projects that I know you're working on. There's other items that I know would fit really well, whether it be hygiene kits, toy items, personal protection equipment, linens, anything that you're working on. We carry a little bit of everything under the sun. And these are just a few of those items that we have available. And as I mentioned, I have an incredible team of individuals that I work with and are here to help serve me as well as you. We are a very diverse group. A lot of us come from very similar backgrounds in that we grew up either in clubs very similar to Kiwanis or rather feeling the support of such community impact programs and initiatives. And that really shows in the way that we work with our clients. My friend Joe Belcher here, he's kind of in the middle, this lovely gentleman with a nice shiny forehead and no hair. He is the sweetest guy around, and his favorite phrase to share is that we're not here to take your credit card, we're here to take care of you. And so that's something that we really take to heart, and we don't take for granted that the clubs that come to purchase with us, you have worked extremely hard to raise those funds. And we want to make sure that whether it's an order for $100 or $100,000, that we're giving you the same level of support every single time. And we're getting you quality product at the price point you need in time for your events. So we're an extremely customer-focused group. So in addition to having an incredible selection of products, a lovely diverse team that are here to serve you, some of the Kiwanis partnership benefits include, again, that free shipping on orders over $199 or more than 10,000 school supply items and others at wholesale pricing, and then a dedicated
Kate, we did lose you. We were worried about that. She was
is
worried.
that, oh,
Kate, can you back up just a little bit? We lost
Yeah.
you right before you started that slide, that one.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So the Kiwanis partnership benefits include free shipping on orders $199 or more, and we offer more than 10,000 school supply items and many others. In addition, you have a dedicated account manager, myself, to help you every step of the way. And then with Kiwanis, we offer a 3% rebate program back to Kiwanis International on every order. So it's a really great list of benefits for any club that chooses to purchase with us. Am I still with you, Sue?
Yes,
Good.
yes, you're still with us. Yes.
Okay, good. Just wanted to double check. Okay, so if that isn't enough to inspire you to want to give me a call and collaborate on your next project, I have a lovely colleague of yours. Some of you may know him, Mr. Bob Monahan, who I have been working with over the past few months, and he has just been such an inspiration, him and his team, to work with. And he provided a very lovely testimonial I just wanted to include for you here, as well as some pictures. But he and I have worked together on a number of initiatives as of late, and he worked with Frank well before my time as well. So it's been really inspirational for me, for my team, as well as our organization, when we see these stories, when we see the product that we have sold to you in the hands of your community, and the smiles on these kids' faces and the impact that it's having, it makes us so proud to be even just a small part of these service projects. So I wanted to just share this little story with you guys so you see a little bit of our work in action. And then last but not least, this is me. This is all my contact information. And I know we'll get you out a recap of all my contact information. But with that said, I would love to, I'll stop sharing, open up the dialogue a little bit. I know that Greg and I actually have chatted, and something that we talked about was how we can creatively work with the clubs to be able to get back into those service projects. I know that 2020 for all nonprofits across the country was really challenging in terms of being able to get into the community in a way that was safe for everyone involved and really make that great impact that we've talked about. So I wanted to open up the dialogue a little bit, answer any questions you have, and just have a little chat.
Well, Kate, there's a question or in the chat. Brad, who's with us, was a speaker at the Crawfordsville Club today in Indianapolis. And a member was sharing that water bottles have increased in price quite a bit. I recommend that you check out Dollar Days. Are they still easy to order? And it was also suggested she secure a corporate partner to fund them and place their logo on the opposite side of the Kiwanis logo.
Ooh, excellent question. Thanks so much, Brad, and thanks, Sue, for that. So to that point, before I speak specific to the water bottle, something that you all may be well aware of is that with the container shortage overseas, prices and delivery times have absolutely been affected. And I have shared that with everyone since March. And we are doing our very best, especially in our pre-back to school season, to stretch everyone's budget and to really prevent those price hikes and get you the product you need in the time that you need it. But that is something that everyone who is receiving product overseas is feeling the effects of. So I did want to just share that on a global level. And I think we were talking about some deliveries in the mail earlier, right? There's definitely delays out there. But with that being said, specific, Brad, to your question about the water bottles, absolutely. It's still easy to purchase through Dollar Days. Anything that's listed on our website is in stock in a warehouse in the United States, ready to ship. I have one exclusion to that. It's any pre-order item, and I've only got a few of those. It's a couple backpacks. Outside of that, all 30,000 items are in the US, ready to ship out. And I know you didn't ask this, but I will just state that we do not currently customize anything in-house. I know that we've done some partnerships with Kiwanis in the past. We've done a power bank here and there with the Kiwanis logo. And we're hoping to really break into that world to be able to expand our service to our clients. But right now we don't customize anything.
Oops, lost you again. Uh-oh.
Lost her.
While waiting for her to come back. One of the things that Kate and I was looking at it from a lot of times clubs, we would say, what kind of service projects do we want to do? And then what do we need for that? And we would contact Dollar Days. Well, I was maybe thinking about flipping it that says, all right, what kinds of things do you have that we can now use to help create a service project and brainstorm and kind of approach it from that aspect as well as the other way of starting things.
Definitely. And I heard your question. I know I cut out a little bit, but I think, okay, I'm back. Perfect. So yeah, that's an excellent point, Greg. So some of the items that we carry that I think could help spark some creative juices, one in particular is our children book selection. So we've expanded that inventory quite a bit. And one of the Kiwanis clubs that I work with actually does a summer reading program with these books where they go into their local children's hospital and do a little summer reading program and read to the kids that are in the hospital. So I think that in particular has been a really creative and new way that I've seen Kiwanis members use Dollar Days in addition to the typical back to school season. So that's one that I've really enjoyed seeing.
Kate, your last slide that had all your good information on it was too quick for us old folk. Can you give us your phone number and your email address again, please?
Yes, of course. And Sue, I don't know if you were planning on emailing that out, maybe to the attendees. Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, David. Excellent point. So
I was just gonna say, I was on a call the other day. I don't know, maybe Barb, maybe you were, maybe it was the Northwest Indy, I don't know. But I was astounded. They said that the speaker said that the average student goes through 49 pencils in a year. I just thought that was an astounding number of pencils for one kid for a school year.
Isn't that funny? I'm sure between losing them, breaking them, someone borrowing them. I mean, I steal pens and pencils in the office like they're going out of style. So I suppose I'm not surprised. But
yeah, having been in the classroom, I think that's an underestimate.
Oh, was that you, Barb? Barb, are you a teacher?
I was formerly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I was an assistant superintendent, but I did a lot of consulting with teachers too. And it's a universal problem.
Yeah, I can imagine. And Barb, have you ever had the opportunity to use Dollar Days, or have you heard about us before?
Yes, I've heard about you and used, and sadly, some of our clubs have found better prices elsewhere. So, yeah.
Hey, and you know what? That's fair. And you know what I always share transparently with all of our clients is there's a lot of items on our website where we're going to be the absolute best buy, hands down. But for example, and Barb, I'm open to your feedback, but for example, I can share anything name brand like Crayola, Elmer, some of those types of items. I know for sure that sometimes we're not quite as competitive, even though we have a direct relationship with the manufacturer. The sad reality is sometimes I find that the schools will require a name brand, and we recognize that and understand that, but there's a lot of generic options we have for a fraction of a cost that are made at the same factory overseas. So sometimes I know the name brands have to happen, but at the same time, hope that we can offer some alternative solutions. That's a good point, Barb.
Is there a way you can share the ones that are made by the same manufacturer?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'd be happy to send you a follow-up on that, Barb. But again, just in general, a lot of our school supplies. So that leads actually perfectly into the topic of our big box items and our Ford backpacks. So for those of you that have worked with me this year or worked with Frank last year, you might be aware of this. That Dollar Days has heard loud and clear from all of our nonprofits. We need quality back to school supplies at an affordable price point. And so Dollar Days went direct to the manufacturers overseas, shared that feedback, and developed our own product line. So if you go to our website right now, you'll see the big box school supplies that are in stock in the States, ready to ship, as well as our Ford basic backpacks. And so those are our top sellers right now for our school supplies, but they're also our answer to the problem we were hearing of we need these items in bulk, we need them to be quality, and we need them to ship now. So those would be, Barb, some of the items that I would share with you. Absolutely. Good feedback. Thank you so much. And keep in mind too, even if we're not the best price point per unit, right? I look at all of your orders holistically. So even if I don't have the best price on that one Crayola item or that one, let's say, hygiene item, for just a different example, I'm looking at it holistically. I'm trying to stretch your budget overall, not try to just beat that one price point. And then that we give that 3% back, which I know that not all vendors do. Oh, thanks, Sue, for sharing that.
Seems like it'd be really good to maybe do a bundle pack with so many kids, even if they're returning to school, they're still having to do distance learning from home. So it'd almost be cool to have like a little, within a backpack, a little home pack for some of the supplies they might need to continue learning from the home setting.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And we definitely increase our inventory around those items to support learning at home. So we're talking about your earbuds, even backpacks that have laptop sleeves in them, which is very new for Dollar Days, especially at the price point that we offer. And I know many of us are really hoping that all schools are back and open and things continue in the positive trend, but Dollar Days is fully prepared for if we go back to full at home learning. But yeah, that's a really good point, Brad.
I like to go back to something that Brad said earlier about, so you said you don't do customized. So in other words, you don't put logos on any of the stuff that you send out at this point?
That is absolutely correct. And like I said, we've done a few special orders, I know, for Kiwanis, and happy to have that conversation. But if, for example, you went to the website right now, I do not have anything listed with a customization option. However, and this is separate, of course, to the nonprofit work that we do, we also do a lot of work with promotional product clients. So individuals that are purchasing blanks from us to put their logo on it and do a concert, a conference, whatever the case may be. So in those instances, we would ship the blank to whatever decorator of the customer's choice, and then they can work with that decorator on that order. So we can get you the blanks at a great cost and ship very quickly, and hope to have some customization options in-house within the next year or so. But frankly, that was delayed a little bit with our focus on being able to support the pandemic.
Because I was wondering then if you do get that, if there would have to, if anything we do then with you would have to go through the Kiwanis branding process, and in terms of time and to ship and, you know, all that stuff too. So
That's a good point. I mean, I know that we've been working really closely with the Kiwanis marketing team, especially over the past few weeks. And I know that your team has been super responsive. I know our marketing team has been responsive. So I hope that would work out really quickly when we do go that direction.
And I would think that if that were a process that was put into place, that they would work directly with the brand team and get that all set up ahead of time. So once they had the authority to use the brand, then it wouldn't have to go back and forth between groups.
I think it just depends on the product too. If you were doing the water bottle, it's really hard to imprint that when it's rolled, you know, so in a cylinder shape or whatever. But if you're looking, like I promote quite a bit, I think it was Genius Jim Janicek's Worthington, Ohio school district. They are providing the backup face masks for the kids at school, and it'd be real easy to stamp on a flat face mask, a Kiwanis logo or something like that, the school district name, whatever. So it just, I think, depends on the product and how easy it is to imprint it.
And I think the thing that I've said to clubs is, like, you know, look at what they haven't, you know, call Kate. I mean, there's opportunities there. It's just a matter of starting right someplace to start. And I think sometimes clubs are just looking for someplace to start. Where do I start? Right. You know, and I mean, you know, buying backpacks are not inexpensive. You know, it's not an inexpensive task to do. And if you put everything into it, however, you know, you can look at, you know, corporate sponsorships or whatever other sponsorships, excuse me, as well, that you can put, you know, that can help as well. So it's just a matter of, you know, what your what your club decides to do and what they want, where they want to move forward with it at.
Sue, you just sparked two things I wanted to mention. Thank you so much for that. So first is, I consider myself a jack of all trades. I'd like to think that I have a pretty diverse experience and background that I can help come up with creative solutions for all of my clients. But that's not to say that I don't have a dozen other individuals that are ready and willing to assist. We've got Joe Pearson, who is our dedicated account manager who works directly with schools and knows school supplies like the back of his hand. And then Joe Belcher, I already shared, he is the national account manager for the Southern Baptist Church. He knows churches better than anyone. And so all of our account representatives and advisors, just like myself, are so good at what they do, and we all work together, and we're here to support each other and each other's clients. So if ever we're hitting a wall, we have a dozen other people ready to jump in. And then Sue, the other thing you mentioned, I think it was something about donations, reminded me that one thing that I've been hearing from clubs and members that I've been reaching out to over the past couple months is that, oh my gosh, the community has been incredible. We've seen an uptick in donations of product, not financial donations, but product. That's absolutely incredible. And I'm so glad to hear that. Where I come into play is to help supplement any gaps in those donations. So I always want to highlight that because I don't want there to be a misperception that Dollar Days has any minimum requirements. Like I said earlier, if you're spending $100 or $100,000, it does not matter to me. I'm here to provide you the exact same level of excellent service every single time. And again, stretch your budget, whatever it may be.
And I think one of the things I noticed is the quantities are different. I mean, some places you have to buy, 12 dozen of X or 40 dozen of Y or whatever. And there was a point where it's like, okay, we can work with you on smaller quantities. If you're a smaller group that doesn't need, the quantities, there's an opportunity to work with. You're not having to buy 12 dozen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to that point, we do have varying case sizes. So going back to Brad's example about the pencils, right? I've got cases of 24 that have packs of a dozen pencils, and you can just buy a case. Or I've got cases of 2,000 individual pencils, and maybe one student needs all of those pencils. Yeah. In Brad's case. So we have a lot of flexible purchasing options too. Absolutely. Does anyone have any upcoming service projects or anything that they want to talk through or workshop that I might be able to provide some creative insight to or solutions to?
Amy?
We have one in Mount Pleasant, and now that I have your phone number, the person in charge will be in touch with you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, David.
I actually emailed that to you, David. Well, I was just looking at the cost of like pencils and stuff, 7 cents a pencil or 7 cents a pen. I know I can't buy a pen for 7 cents when I go to Staples. And I think about working in the office that I do. I mean, we're the same way. We go through pens and pencils. Everybody that comes into the office takes a pen, right? Or we do a lot of events where you're putting stuff out for people to sign up, and you go through pens and pencils. I mean, I always hate going and buying, spending a ton of money on pens and pencils because you never get them back, right?
Absolutely.
But I mean, I'm looking at some of the pricing here, and I mean, 21 cents for a roll of Scotch tape. When you're giving it to a kid, it doesn't need to be the name brand, That's what I use. Well, I'm looking at these going, I usually put up a kit together for all of our trainers, and I'm like, hey, this might be a place for me to go buy stuff for my training kits for all the rooms.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, certainly I'm here to serve all the clubs, but if you have needs for your businesses and personal life, I'm here for that too. Something that has been so remarkable about getting to know Kiwanis that didn't hit me until about a month in was many of you, this is in addition to your full-time jobs. So many of my clients that I work with, they come to me for their job, and every single Kiwanis Club member that I work with goes above and beyond and does this on their own time to serve their communities, which I just have to say I find absolutely remarkable. Absolutely. Amy, I'm sorry, were you gonna say something? I meant to circle back to you.
Yeah, I was just looking online. I pulled up the webpage as well. And I'm just thinking of working with our youth. They're planning a themed party. It'll either be beach themed or, our district convention is going to be like derby themed. So I was like looking up derby hats and it's like, 34 cents a unit. I'm like, okay, how
Yes.
fun is that to get like rainbow derby hats at 44 cents a unit or beach balls? So I'm just thinking of other ways that we can engage with the service leadership programs to make their conferences more fun. So we could just work with you or they could work with you and have it shipped.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do a lot in terms of party supplies and party planning. And it's always so fun, especially when we get into the themes, and because we certainly have a wide variety. And for the beach items, not only do we have the themed decorations, but we also work with retailers.
We're losing you. We lost you again. We can't hear you. We lost you again. We lost Kate again.
I lost everyone. Am I
There
back?
you go. You're back.
Hey, okay. Well, we're going to keep the video off and see if this works better.
That might help. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where I stopped off. I'm so sorry about that, Amy. But in essence, party supplies and beach toys and those types of things, absolutely, I think would be fun for that project.
I was even thinking a little bit more about the water bottles and a solution, if yours are that much cheaper or less expensive, I guess, would be to just get the logos of the corporate member who's going to pay for them and the Kiwanis logo and do it on a clear adhesive label. Now, obviously, when the parent goes to wash it or something, your label may come off or whatever, but if there's a huge difference, so you've given me some food for thought to get back with this young lady that I spoke with at Crawfordsville Club. So
Well, even the Kiwanis logo. I mean, you can buy the Kiwanis stickers.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you just put that on it.
Yeah.
Or
you can do that on the beach balls,
Right.
Yeah, I just had 2,000 stickers printed. They're semi-waterproof.
Right.
Nice.
From Jim Janicek. Said you're a certified licensed vendor. Yes. Could you print the Kids Need Kiwanis logo? Because of that, we were gonna print them out and hand them out at events to kids where they knew they might have a helmet, they stick it on, they might have a water bottle. Quite popular right now.
Well, and those stickers sound like they could go on nearly anything. So again, if you think about Dollar Days, all of our items are pretty much blanks. There's no shortage of options that you can quote unquote customize with those stickers. That's a really, really creative and flexible way to brand some items. I love that.
Kate, does the partnership with Kiwanis have Kiwanis pricing, or is it just the partnership and the pricing is the pricing regardless of if you're getting it through Kiwanis or someplace else?
Excellent question. So the pricing is typically the pricing. So on our website, if anyone Joe Schmo goes to justdollardays.com and registers, then they'll see the same pricing as when you, Greg, log into your Kiwanis account. However, the difference, and I'm so glad you brought that up, Greg, is that when we register any individual as a Kiwanis Club member, we do what's called a co-brand on your account, meaning that anytime you, Greg, go to dollardays.com, it recognizes that you're a Kiwanis Club member. It's going to give you that free shipping automatically on orders over $199, and it's going to make sure that the system is attributing your order to Kiwanis International for that 3% rebate program. Now, I say the pricing is the pricing, right? But that doesn't mean, again, going back to my point about holistically looking at your order, looking at a quote, doesn't mean that I'm not able to offer some better bulk pricing. So especially as we get into the larger orders, let's say $4,000 or above, I typically have some room to sharpen my pencil. And for me, a really big point of pride and focus is I never want a dollar amount. I never want a budget to be the thing that gets in the way of me being able to be a part of your service project. So to that point, anytime you have any question, or again, we're working with a very strict budget, let me know. I'll do my best to stretch it and sharpen that pencil. I've been on the other end of this, so to speak, in terms of writing grant proposals, waiting for that decision, managing those budgets. I know what that looks like, and I know how important it is to stick to those budgets. So I'll do everything in my power to help you out there.
And I think that's a great point, is connect with, if you know you have $300 or you have $500 or $1,000, this is what you need, connect and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. How can you help me? This is what my budget is. And I think the big thing is, the other thing I'm thinking about is if shipping's fee over $199, that's going to save you money right there.
And especially that's a good point for any clubs that are in the same, near each other, in the same towns, that maybe your club has a $200 budget or $100 budget. I've worked with that as well. Maybe you're working on something similar with another club nearby and you want to consolidate that order and split it up, or partner with each other on something and combine those efforts. So that's been another fun way for a couple clubs that have had those stricter budgets. We've been able to stretch their dollar.
As I like to say, you don't know what the answer is going to be until you ask.
Right.
You never know until you ask. And if, there's always a yes or always a no, or, hey, let's try to do this in between. I tell that to people all the time. You never know unless you ask. Was it like Wayne Gretzky said, you miss every shot you don't take?
Yep, you are spot on. I know that quote well. We say it in the office quite frequently.
Right.
Definitely. Yeah, and I hope that if I've not articulated anything else this evening, you've gotten the sense of the quality of my character as well as our company, and know that, again, it's not my job to take your credit card, nor do I want to. I do this work because I'm passionate about the work that you do. I'm passionate about the work that you're doing in your communities, as is Dollar Days. And that's why all of us show up to work every day. And so I just want to thank everyone so much for allowing me to be a part of your communities, allowing me to be a part of this series, and really thrilled about our national partnership, and really hope to work with each of you in the future.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Any other questions for Kate? I think for me, it's just the awareness issue, right? Of here's what's here. I mean, yeah, you're right. I could probably run around if I wanted to. Who has the time to run around and find this stuff? Honestly, I don't. I mean, I have to look at the value of my time and all that kind of stuff. And I was just looking on there. They had headphones for $3 a pair, like the earbuds. I'm like, how many kids do you give a pair of earbuds to that are, I look at the students I work with, they're buying 20 or 20, whatever pair of earbuds are. And then they're like, oh, I lost them. And they don't think anything of it. I'm like, I make sure I know where mine are all the time. But if you're giving a $3 pair to a kid, they don't care. They just want something that, I'll be honest with you, I bring the ones home off my airplane rides. And I make them available. I mean,
no, that's smart. Absolutely.
We joke around that when you're in hotels, when they used to have little bottles of shampoo and all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
We collected that to give to whoever we could. So any little bit helps.
Absolutely agree. Well, does anyone have anything else for me? Just thank you again so much.
I'm just thinking how we can partner as the Kiwanis Children's Fund. So I'm thinking right now.
There you go. Amy's always thinking. Kate, I have one more question. On pencils, sometimes the cheaper pencils, this is from being a pencil connoisseur, don't sharpen, because I think the lead is not in the middle of the pencil. And so you sharpen and sharpen and sharpen, it never gets sharp. So do you have any kind of quality control on that, or do you sharpen one of the pencils from all your manufacturers or anything like that?
You, Barb, are absolutely the pencil connoisseur. I will tell you that. I am impressed. I am impressed because you're absolutely right. We have samples all over the office. We do a really big back to school kind of seminar, and we do so for every product line for whatever season. Same around Christmas time with toys, etc. And every single one of us on the floor is looking at pencils because we know that is a big sticking point
Mhm.
for all of the teachers. Yes, ma'am. And I just rarely hear anyone else talk about the position of the lead within the pencil. I appreciate that so much. And to answer your question, yes, I have pencils with centered lead. Absolutely.
I see how boring I am. I talk about the position of pencil lead and pencils.
Hey, at least we know someone's checking that. That's
Yeah,
yes.
thank you. Thank you,
That's right.
Kate. I really appreciate that. Thank
Kate,
you.
I have
I
a
appreciate
quick
that.
question for you. Are you open to Kiwanians giving you suggestions of things that you might carry?
Yes,
So like I'm
absolutely.
looking out on your website, I've just been helping a couple of clubs, new clubs in the Phoenix area that recently opened, and they started a community garden. I was looking on here for seed packets. I typed in seed packets, and instead I just get sunflower kernels and cashews and that type of thing. And I would love to use seed packets not only for community gardens, but also to promote membership growth in terms of they're really inexpensive. I bought them at like Dollar Tree and Dollar General to use for different club sort of things. But I just wondered if that's something that if we gave it to you, whether you would run it up the flagpole and see whether there'd be enough demand for it or that type of thing.
I had to turn my camera off. I apologize. However, Brad, I heard you loud and clear on the seed packets. And yes, I will see what I could do. Absolutely. I think that's a lovely idea. I know we've got the accessories to go along with a gardening theme, but I'll have to check back with you on the seed packets. That's a great idea, though. And
Brad,
yes,
We're getting ready to launch some single purpose clubs all revolved around food insecurity and food sustenance. And so I think, you know, planting seeds, even if in your backyard or in an urban garden out on your patio in an urban setting, would be sort of a cool thing to help promote it.
well, and Brad, I feel like I neglected to mention, I am also here locally in Phoenix, Arizona. So if I can personally connect with anyone, let me know.
The garden is in Buckeye.
Awesome. Awesome. I don't mind traveling for a nice garden. That sounds great.
Brad, I think if you promote it, we can get seeds in every club.
Okay, there we go. Plant some seeds.
Plant some seeds. All right. Any other questions tonight? Growth, exactly. Growth. Well, Kate, we want to thank you for being with us tonight. Great information. And we will make sure that I'll download this video when we're done here, and we'll make sure that it gets out on the Facebook page and on the Michigan District of Kiwanis YouTube page so that you can share it again and get the word out. But I think that it's great that we can have this opportunity to, you know, talk one-on-one with the people behind it, right? That's, I think, what's important for a lot of this is who's doing this, you know, who are you?
Absolutely.
You know, we just see a name or a face or whatever, but we want to thank you for that. So
Yes.
I'm going to turn off the recording at this point now. So if people want to continue the chat, we can. But Kate, I want to thank you for being with us tonight. We will see everyone else next week for the Kiwanis Club of Washington, D.C. and their student leadership program.